Hello and welcome to another edition of Inside USF Basketball. I'm your host, Pat Olson. Dons go to the West Coast Conference postseason tournament this weekend at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. The quarterfinal matchup against San Diego is at noon on Saturday. We'll sit down with USF head coach Rex Walters, the coach of the year in the West Coast Conference. The Dons off a 20-win campaign, the first time they've won 20 games in the regular season since the 81 and 82 year, and the first time the Dons have won 13 conference games since way back in 1976 and 77. We preview the tournament right now. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations, Coach of the Year in the West Coast Conference. I know that's a team award, your staff. I'm sure you're going to give credit to your players, but had to feel pretty special to you.
It's completely a program, team, coaching staff, athletic department, USF award. So many different people are part of it, so I'm very humbled by it. Our guys did a great job this year. Cole sent me a text, and Cole's leadership, his unselfishness, his work ethic, he's a big part of every single one of our players, past players. It's something that as a program you're proud of. So it's not about me, it's about this team and this program and what we're about. And says that we did some really good things. That's what it ultimately says. We did some really good things this year, and I guess that my name's on it, but it's about San Francisco.
You mentioned getting the text from Cole Dickerson. He was named first team All-League. He had a great season. Expand and talk about what he brought to your club this year.
He's been fantastic. He can score in so many different ways. The biggest thing about him was his leadership this year. I think his leadership took on a whole nother level, and he's not a vocal guy, but when he says something, it's like E.F. Hutton, people listen, and the times that he did say something, everyone's like, oh, we need to pick it up. And he had that credibility because of his ability, but also his work ethic. He's been phenomenal. Just watching him over the last 4 years, each year getting better and better as a player, getting better and better as a person. When I say that, in the locker room, before practice, hanging out with the guys, just watching him grow up. It's been a lot of been very neat for me to watch, and to see him rewarded again. A two-time All-League player, had a great year for us, and I'm really happy for him.
A couple other players on your club mentioned your name to the honorable mention team, deserving for both Cruz Pinkins and Avery Holmes, who's really come along as point guard.
Oh yeah, both those guys had fantastic years. Obviously. Our success, Cruz took us to another level with his ability inside, his ability on the perimeter to pass the basketball, play high-low, his ability to guard the post guard guys bigger than him. Had a fantastic year. Avery Holmes as a point guard, which he wanted to be all along, and he got the opportunity. But a lot of guys want the opportunity but not ready when they get it. He was ready when he got it. Makes so many big plays for us, down the stretch of games. I'll say this, Mark Tolleson I thought had a great year. He was a guy that I nominated for All-League. He's a guy I nominated as a Defensive Player of the Year. Hopefully he uses this as a motivating factor. I think that he's one of the top prospects in our league, without a doubt, in the future. Just a sophomore like Avery, but his best basketball is ahead of him, but he had a heck of a year as well. And we talked to our guys about roles, and our guys' ability to accept roles and knowing that maybe they could do some more, but having to sacrifice. And that's why we had the success we had.
Coach, your team comes in with some momentum going. You've won 9 of 11. And I always kind of break the season out into 3 parts. There's the non-conference, then there's your league, and then there's postseason, league tournament, and beyond. How can you carry momentum, or is it like a brand new slate as you go into the tournament? Because you do come in on a bit of a roll.
Yeah, we're 0-0 now. Everyone's 0-0, and nothing helps you on game night. You know what I mean? Whoever's playing the best basketball on that night is going to survive and advance. And we want to, at the end of Saturday night, right up on the board, 4, because that's the only 4 teams that can win this conference tournament. And to do that, we got to do what we've been talking about all year long. Eliminate layups, protect the paint, play great with personnel defense, box out, rebound, go down the other end, and keep finding and working for layups, post-ups, and open jump shots. But that's what it's going to come down to. So, yes, our guys know we have experience of doing that. We've got to continue to take it to a higher level, because with each game, guys know each other even better. Like San Diego is going to know us really well. We're going to know them really well. Like every deficiency in each of our games, we're going to try to exploit of each other. So it makes for very exciting basketball, maybe more defensive oriented. Hopefully, it will be, and hopefully we're the better defensive team.
You mentioned San Diego knocking off some of the big dogs in the league. They also have played well down the stretch. Yeah. What are the biggest concerns for the San Diego team?
Well, they've got very balanced scoring. People think of San Diego, they think of Johnny D, but Chris Anderson has 28 in his last game, and we have to guard him maybe differently now. He's really scoring the basketball well. Dennis Kramer is a heck of a talent inside, and what he can do in the post, and he has size that we don't have on our roster, period. And then when you talk about Duda Sandazi, 6'4", 6'5", can score. You got 4 guys on the floor that can, are proven scorers, and that makes it more difficult.
Some great accomplishments for your team this year. The first 20-win regular season before the tournament since back in the early 80s, and the first time that this team has won 13 conference games. The USF team has done that since 1976 and 77, back when people were walking around on shag carpet and there was wood paneling inside homes. It's been a long time. What do those things mean to you?
It's something you'll appreciate when the season's over. Things that you've accomplished. We've had some really good teams though in the 80s and 90s. What Phil has been able to do. Jesse had some good teams. You don't negate those guys. Those guys did really great jobs. Coach Bravelli bringing the program back. Nobody can really fathom unless you really sat down with Coach Bravelli for hours and talked about what he faced when he took over the program to bring it back. So those guys play a big part of it. We're all family. Sometimes, brothers and sisters get mad at each other, but we're all family, and we want to make those guys proud. We want to make our alumni proud. We want to make our former players proud, and you do that by playing hard, smart together.
Coach, final comment from you. It's a noon game. That's an early start. I know traditionally coaches like to do a game day shoot-around. That would be an awful early shoot-around. Have you thought about the morning schedule at all?
Well, we practice at 12, so in some ways it's really good. Now, some days our practices aren't very good either. So, no, we're used to practicing at 12. We'll do a earlier practice on Friday. It'll probably be a little bit lighter practice. It'll be more about it'll be more like a shoot-around than anything else on Friday. It'll be really hard tomorrow. We'll be off Wednesday, go really hard Thursday, but hard and short, and our guys know. If they don't know by now what we're supposed to be doing, what have we been doing in December and in the earlier months. So our guys know, and then it's about getting there on game night and letting it rip, doing what we do, knowing what we know, executing the way we know to execute, and then let it rip, and that's what we'll do.
Coach, best of luck. Let's hope for a lengthy stay down there in Las Vegas.
That would be fun. Thank you.